Yes.
Yeah.
Pledge allegiance
To the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You tell them they have echo. All right. First thing we'll go to the
Yeah, you did.
Good. Public hearing, floodplain law. Jeanette?
Oh, I'm sorry, that is a residual from the last one. There is no floodplain law.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. That's all right. Minutes, motion to accept the regular meeting minutes of 4/10/23.
So moved.
A second. Did you, those guys vote? Any discussion?
Well, you have to say comments or
You
questions,
have to ask, yeah. You gotta ask us to vote.
and then all in favor?
All in favor? But I didn't see your votes.
We didn't vote because you
We
had a
didn't
first
vote 'cause
and a
you didn't ask.
second.
You have to call for a vote.
Get with the program, Mark.
No wonder why your meetings go so fast.
Right?
I'd like to open up public comment. Anything?
Just tell Jeanette to watch out for the alligators.
Watch out for the alligator.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do the report of DPW. Roger is out ill, so I will take that. Last 30%. Oh,
No, well, there wasn't actually. Oh.
Yeah, there was.
I see. Okay.
I closed public comment. Recycling, he's been sweeping the roads, and that includes the school, firehouse, and the clerk's office. He's patched most of the potholes. He needs some, he ordered some more pothole mix. He's cleaned up the sidewalks. He's put up the 6-ton limit signs on the road. Got your doggy bags out. They took the plow off the big truck, changed the alternator on the backhoe, and fixed hydraulic lines and serviced the skid steer. The next 30 days, garbage and recycling again. He's going to rake the cemetery and clean the headstones.
Good.
State line at the beach parking lot and clerks. Clean up the plow messes at the ball field turnarounds, to put the dock at the point. Work on the bathrooms of the beach, but I believe that's done. They may just paint them. The toilets are in. The rake third section of Elm Lake Road. Come up with a plan for beach parking lot, clean the pavilion, get ready for the summer, and fix up some road signs that were bent over the window, and dig ditches and clean culverts along Elm Lake Road. And
Well, someone would ask Roger why he's painting lines on the parking lot if we're working. No.
Pavilion.
third section.
Oh, okay.
We have an engineering firm going, we have a grant for that.
Right.
And
Right. So regardless, we're going to have to paint the lines because we're not going to fix it right away.
Okay, thank
So
you.
what we're doing is we have the grant to do the engineering report, and then we would grant to pay.
days. I'm just gonna- Forward. We can get-
Yeah. So I can. So in the next 30 is planning over some ditches because that is being we get picked last of some very and that's the case.
We have-
Yeah. Fence, I don't fired so much culverts. They're okay. I've heard that their assumption all summer. I have not yet on that out. Oh, and now I'm away. I'll do that.
Tried today.
Okay. Yep. Mark, I know ours for people with these areas of that enter the road, those red, those text crumbling. Okay.
Sidewalk. And then
Yep.
fourth one. For
Oh, I know we were with that one.
Oh, there's
Right. Yep. We will be using a lot as a staging area. That they did trash can. There had been earthquake. Oh. So what I see the gays playground field and it's going to take us to June and on the end of May, beginning of June. Yeah, Diamond was ordered that may come. The base hole things that need addressed and then tips for playground, and there was a playground toy that was supposed to, a ride that was supposed to be fixed. So right now there's a spring with a bucket over it.
all right. I will talk to Roger and also Lee to see if we can take care of some of these.
Yeah, because he kept telling me it was easy to fix, but hasn't been fixed yet. And then the last thing, we may be just a little early. The Chamber of Commerce flour barrels. What our responsibility is for that? I know initially I was contacted by Steve Stefano from the chamber, who had said, "Oh, we should move the barrels to Charlie John so that they can fill them and do whatever." And then, we would move them again. And I said, no. It's got to be in one easy place. It's always been done behind the community gardens.
Yes.
So they should be contacted in that. And then the Chamber of Commerce is responsible for watering them.
Yep. I will discuss with Roger.
Thank you. And has the road for pavement, selected for pavement, been identified? I haven't seen it on any
Yeah, it's
list.
on the road list. road list that we made up and we have, and it's identified, but I just don't remember what road it is.
Okay.
It's been identified.
Okay. I will be contacting the leaders of Deerfoot to see if they're going to send some boys down again. Last year, they were very gracious and sent 11 boys down to help prepare the village for summer. So they helped raking the beach. They were doing all sorts of things. They graded the ball field. They helped in the playground. They helped weed whack up in the cemetery, etc. So I'll see if they're sending down another group this year. So it was very generous of them. So they were also offsetting the time that the guys were working on the fire tower.
Yes, they did a great job last year.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
Now, did they ever put a list like on a great big whiteboard at the thing, and so guys can check that if they get?
Well, again, I'll go over tomorrow. That's what I figured. I'll also order the 3 benches with crystal and the 15 folding picnic tables. And then the only thing is, somebody has to pick out the benches that they want. There have to be 2 types. One that goes into cement and one that can be moved. I would prefer like not a cheap bench, but a nice metal bench with cedar and whatever you want, so we can order them right away. So I didn't know if somebody was going to pick them out. Did you ever pick them out?
Can we have 2 or 3 examples, and we can
I sent you the list, and I emailed you the website link.
Yep.
And
I did identify two with crystal.
yes, she can't remember. But there's 15 folding chairs, folding tables, and 3 picnic tables. So I'll get that out of the way, and then we'll know how much money we have left. This
Perfect.
Shipping is so much.
Yeah.
But you want to order them quickly, we'll pay for them with a debit card, and then that way it's wiped off for this year.
Okay. And we do get a significant discount on the folding tables by ordering that many.
Yes. Where are they coming from? The picnic tables come from Illinois, and I don't know where the benches come from. But it's expensive because they're heavy items.
Right.
Yeah, they're very heavy.
Whatever bench you want, if you want them metal, galvanized, you want to have a decent looking bench. So, you guys want to look at something. I mean, I sent the link over. RJ Tom, generally. RJ Thomas was, but all you have to do is put in picnic benches. Or not picnic benches, but benches. Metal bench. So there's plenty of selections out there. And, but you need identical ones that you can put in concrete, and the other ones that you can. So, and they could be the same, just put your feet down in concrete, drill a hole, put some holes.
So where are you thinking having the ones that are movable?
It's up to you. It's some are going to be movable, but some can be permanent, so they don't have to take them in every year.
Yep.
The ones up and down the streets in Speculator can be permanently.
Then you say he's putting them in the container. Is there a container down there? Benches?
Oh no, the benches are going to the pavilion, and they're going to be put behind that wall there. That's in the back of the pavilion. Yeah, it's just how many we can get. So maybe this year we buy the ones that go on the concrete. Again, I don't know how much money is going to be available.
Right.
Once we get this done, and then I should know tomorrow or Wednesday what the costs are.
Yeah, and we do need to speak with Roger about making them permanent along the main street.
Yes.
How that or if that will interfere with plowing the sidewalk in the street.
There used to be cement benches out there one time. There was cement with wooden straps across it, and wasn't a problem. They were out there all the time.
Oh, okay, good.
It's just snowmobiles, really, so you just sit back a little.
Okay, we have Roger out on sick leave. Are we back up to capacity for his team? As far, or we still got someone working 20, 50% or whatever?
Well, actually, we got one employee going out for back surgery. So, I think Thursday, they can do back surgery Thursday.
Yes,
And
yes.
Did you say back surgery?
yes.
Get back.
Yeah.
So we'll be down one person for the summer.
Yeah, so this was a person who was working at limited capacity. So in speaking with our insurance company, he'll be out about 3 months. 3 months. Is it? Yeah, 3 months, 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks, and then they'll evaluate how he's doing and what plans for return to work could be. And then, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it then. It's pretty extensive.
Okay, any other questions on that? Clerk Trustee report?
Okay. We need a motion to approve the budget, first of all.
So were there any changes to the budget that Crystal found?
None that she told me about, so I don't think so.
Okay.
Jeanette, Michael's in the waiting room to be admitted.
Ah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
And I hear a motion to approve the 23-24 budget.
So moved. Wait, who's seconding?
Put Cindy down.
Cindy.
Any comments, questions?
None here.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great.
Motion to approve abstract number.
Can I just read the rest of
Oh,
it?
okay.
first?
Go ahead.
And then, it's short, so. Just to let you all know, the flooring will be replaced starting tomorrow. There should
Yay.
be 2 days working on that. It's all sitting in here, so it's ready to go. Finished the painting, so that's good. Water and sewer late notices were sent out as a reminder for those who still owe payment to send those in before the end of the month, before they get re-levied in May 1st. Additionally, the water quality report and the water line inventory survey will be sent out with the quarterly billing on May 1st. And now it's the financial report and the abstract. Financial report number 10.
Okay, financial report number 10. Someone want to make a motion?
I will.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Me too.
Two abstentions.
Now the abstract number.
21, sorry, I was right.
I have a motion to approve the abstract number 21. Mark?
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? See, I got that one.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
Correct. So Cindy and I abstain.
So we'll go to old business, short-term rentals, distribution of STR posters. Rebecca, please.
Okay, I think I sent everybody the final copy.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Tracy. Would you let me share?
I will try. See if that works.
Yes. Okay, just so we know what we're talking about here. Okay, so Rebecca?
Okay, we had talked about having these available to people who do short-term rental. And we were going to talk with Crystal about size and whether to have them laminated. And I think as a board, we just need to decide if they're going to have to pick them up here at the village office or how we want to handle it.
If we have a list, do we know?
We don't have a list, we only have like maybe 19 people that we know for sure, but one suggestion was there's a fellow that's been really active with short-term rentals, and perhaps he could help us out with that.
I believe is on,
Yep. So Chris, I know we usually don't ask the public to participate, but we would like to ask you if you would help coordinate the distribution of these posters.
While I'm not in the village right now, I will go out on Facebook and
Good idea.
and let them know and contact the individuals that I know personally who are also short-term rentals and let them know these are available and are strongly encouraged to use them.
Perfect. There are a few, there are several requirements in these. So just to be very clear, the town is opting to do a law and have paid registration, and then a list of suggested things that they do, and then they would evaluate or do a help me, Rebecca.
Inspection if requested.
Yes, they would do an inspection if requested. At this time, the village is not opting to do that. We are waiting with the New York state law so that if people are out of compliance, their listings would be pulled from Airbnb and VRBO until a situation was remedied. So, by means of enforcement, I would like to let people know that this in no way precludes us from inspecting a facility that there is a complaint against. It does not preclude us from reporting any issues to New York State in this regard. And so there are a list of requirements that the state will have that I think the town is mimicking in that regard. And I'm not sure, Chris, if short-term rentals are aware of those. And one big safety situation that people should have are maps of egress for fire. So if you can, include those, parameters in your email in addition to this.
I'll draft one
poster.
up, Jeanette, and send it to you.
Oh, that would be perfect. And we certainly, I know the board would agree with me, we certainly appreciate your help in doing this.
Yep, no problem.
All righty. So Chris, from a Airbnb perspective, do you have any issues with the poster that has been put together regarding the noise? And are we happy with the wording board? So keep the noise down, enjoy your peaceful stay, and be mindful of your neighbors who are not on vacation or who may not be on vacation. Any noise after 10 and before 7 should be contained within the rental unit and not heard by neighbors. Remember, noise travels over water.
Yeah, I mean that's the ordinance as it sits now within the village. So,
yep. It's actually noise after 11. The county law is after 11.
11, but the village is 10 or 11.
No, it's still the same.
Okay.
But on that poster, it says 10.
10. Yeah. Right. And then if pets are allowed, you must promptly clean up after your pets, prevent excessive and prolonged barking, and those are noise laws within the village.
Yep.
Keep pets on a leash. Respect the limits on occupancy and visitors at your rental. Overnight guests shall not exceed properties posted occupancy. Gatherings above occupancy level are subject to host approval.
Yep.
Okay. And do Airbnb renters, rental units, do they post the number of guests for occupancy? Okay.
Yes, because that's how you advertise.
Okay. Just to make sure.
Yep.
And then park in designated areas, do not park on roadways, and then place trash. The only other thing that I would suggest, and that does not apply to all Airbnb, so I would not put it on this poster, but I would ask you, Chris, if you would consider it in your posting, to note exactly the limitations of lake access, lake rights, that sort of stuff, because that has been a big issue where renters don't necessarily know or understand where their beach rights are or lake rights, and so they're infringing on other people.
Okay, that's a conversation between all the owners
Exactly.
who actually advertise they have those rights.
Right.
My properties presently don't.
Right.
But some do.
Right. So perhaps that's a suggestion, or if you do have a meeting amongst short-term rental owners, that would be most helpful.
Yep.
Okay.
And the good news is the public beach will be open this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
7 days.
And it'll be open 7 days a week. We do have the boat launch available for folks. Yep. There's the marina and whatever. Yep. Okay. Terrific.
Yep.
So, board, are you fine with the language?
I am.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Terrific. All right, we will get this out.
Great.
So, Tracy, if you would send a copy of that to Chris Fuhrer, that would be helpful as well.
Okay.
And thank you for your help, Chris.
Any questions? Next, the septic systems erosions will resume in June. Call it consolidation of the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals.
I have sent messages to our lawyer. I have not heard anything back, which gives me cause for concern. I will send a third request to her to see what the situation is. So the lawyer does have access now to the general codes to identify any conflicting responsibilities between the planning board and the zoning board.
Okay.
So we're in good shape there.
Rebecca, you had a question on septic system?
Right, so the holdup here is waiting on the lawyer, correct? And you're saying the lawyer hasn't gotten back to you?
No, the lawyer hasn't gotten back with me on the consolidation of planning and zoning boards. The reason why septic systems and erosion regulations were put on hold was because regulations that were comparable to what we wanted to do were just being implemented in and around communities around Lake George. And so the lawyer's suggestion was they're much more litigious than we are. And so test the waters first, let it be out there for a year, see if any lawsuits come in or any challenges to the regulations. And if they don't, then let's proceed.
I thought that's what we did last year. That's why I'm a little confused.
So that anniversary is now here.
Yeah.
So we're picking it back up again.
We're picking it up. We're just losing our time frame if people need to get that done because we're going to start fighting snow again. If we put it off till June and start talking about it, that's all. We're just going to lose another year.
Well, we're not sure if we're going to go with both. One, maybe when you sell your house, we implement that plan and have, an inspection instead of having everyone do an inspection within 200 feet of the waterfront. But that's up to the board to decide. And because the second portion has never been tested. So you have to be sure that it's something we want to do. I'd like to do it, but...
Yeah, I know people are concerned about the lake.
Yeah.
And I think we would find that there are people leaching into the lake, so the longer we push it off, I don't know if there's anything we can do or we can't do, but it sounds like...
Well, realize too that this is only the speculator portion, which represents far less than half of lakefront properties. And so really for this to be effective, Lake Pleasant has to consider this, implementing this regulation as well. Because I do know of some properties that are directly leaching. So... But yes, we'll do that, and I will continue to reach out to Lake Pleasant in that regard.
All right, the general code update?
General code is that we are finalizing, and we did want to give our lawyer the opportunity regarding the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals changes so that we would hopefully be able to do them at the same time so that the general codes update would include a consolidated zoning board of appeals instead of having both and then us having to go back and delete all the planning board and leaving the zoning board. So that's my push to get those together so that they're going in so we can approve a change in law for the zoning board of appeals and get additional people on that board before the codes are finalized.
Great.
So I should hear more of that this week.
Gotcha. All right, Teachers Union, our next meeting is on May 4th. We had previously met. The union provided their proposal. Our lawyer, based on our discussions, gave his proposal, and the union was going to update with a new proposal before the May 4th meeting.
Great.
So nothing's happened. Basically, we just went back and forth. New business status of geese and beavers. There's work geese on the point. There were 7 today out in the lake, but only two have really been going up and down the lake. The beavers, I saw one swim by last week. The lake is so high right now, I don't even know if the dam is still there. I know the beaver hut's there, but I can't, the water's just flowing through there all over, so I can't tell you if there's a dam at this point.
Well, we had a beaver go by our property this morning. We went down, I believe it's a Conjuma, you go Cherry Creek. No, we came up here to town
That's
and went under the bridge.
over here. Yeah, that's full second guy.
Okay. And there was a beaver dam, but the water's so high, you could get around and go back in because the beavers haven't had time to go like the full length. And my understanding is if you can live trap them.
Well, the only reason you can trap them under permit, during the beaver season, trapping season, but you can't disturb them unless they're flooding people's property. And
We're getting really close to that.
my property the water was on my lawn because the lake was so high, but the lake went down about a half a foot. Now it's back up to where it was before, and that's just because of rainfall. So what level that dam is, I have no idea, but for recreation purposes, they won't let you touch it.
Correct. So I have contacted DEC on a couple of occasions. They will not give us a nuisance permit for the beavers. So the alternative, as Mark said, is to live trap them. And it's virtually impossible to find anyone who wants to do that because there's no money in it. There's no value in beaver pelts. There's no value. They're hard to trap and they have no predators.
Interesting.
Beavers live here.
Yes, they do. So in days of...
Have you ever seen the one in the pond at camp?
What's that?
The beaver.
Oh, well, I haven't seen. At the pond you can?
Yes.
Wow.
They're
Which
all
pond?
Yeah.
The one with the little fountain in it.
There's beaver there?
There's a beaver there building. Into the mud. They can build into the sides as well as across different waterways.
Oh my gosh.
That's usually a muskrat.
Well, I can't be certain. I saw it from a distance.
There's a huge beaver just
Wow.
on 30 down by Hope.
Yeah, they are really getting out of control. I can request DEC again, but if it's not affecting property and we have documentation that it's the beavers that are doing it, they're not going to do anything. As far as the geese, we have, I think there are 5 or 6 hunters on our geese permit that was taken out on April 1st. It runs through August 31st. So Ken Kurt, Jim Swanson, Rob Huslin, Roger Huslin, and Oscar Avila all are on our permit. If there are additional quality hunters who have good judgment, because we are shooting on public property, there are restrictions in regards to making sure no one's around when the shooting occurs, and retrieving the bodies and disposing of the geese appropriately are required. If anybody knows of someone who can be added to the list, I'm happy to do that, but they have to be well known and of a good reputation. So I have reminded our hunters of that. In addition, Camp of the Woods has obtained a goose removal permit as well. So it's my hope again this year that they'll be able to coincide. So it's very difficult to shoot them on the water, just because they're very difficult to retrieve. Then you have to make sure you have a boat and all those additional things. So they have tried in the past to shoot them while they're on the beach or near the beach for easy retrieval. All the letters for the neighbors surrounding the public area have been notified as well for the goose removal. So that's the best we can do, unless someone wants to go out and bang pots in the morning and in the evening to keep them out. But hopefully within the next month, the weather's a little bit better and they'll be able to get out there and take a few. I think last year we ended up taking about 10 altogether, and it really kept the goose population down. So it doesn't take a lot to have the goose reminded not to park in front of our property. But I think the beavers are going to be an ongoing issue.
All right, inclusive playground grant, seeking public input.
Yes, I wanted to see if the board would be in favor of having a public meeting in order to get input from people who would be users of a playground, and maybe just kind of identify 3 pieces of equipment or 5, let them list the order, have a picture of it, so that as we think about a grant, we kind of can ballpark how much money it would cost, and we're probably going to need a different kind of surface underneath the park for people that have mobility challenges or would be in wheelchairs, and also easy access from the parking lot to the inclusive portion of the playground. So I just wanted to see if people are in favor of having an initial meeting, and maybe there will be people from that would want to be on that kind of a committee.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. I would suggest perhaps that we contact the DayHab.
That's what I was going to say, same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
For a representative. I think Jim is a good person to be on this committee as well, given his physical therapy background. But yeah, I think that would be great.
Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you're on it, Jim.
I'm on it because it's on rec.
Yeah.
But that would be great. I can put it on we can post it to the Lake Pleasant Speculator Facebook page. If anyone is interested in that, they can contact the office, and we'll have how many people would you like on the committee?
I think 3, I think. I think just 3, I think.
So looking for 3 volunteers?
Jim says yes.
Okay. All right. I can do that.
Anything else, Rebecca?
I don't think so at this time. I think it's mainly just to start thinking about getting the ball rolling, and then the grant has to be submitted by June again. So I think they do it every quarter. You use it, right?
Correct. But you're right. I'd love to get it in June. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and if we have a volunteer that knows how to write grants well, that'd be great too.
Right.
Okay, continuation of video conferences for public meetings. Jeanette sent out 2 attachments. I haven't read them yet, but there's a lot of paper here. Jeanette?
So let me summarize then. So there is a law. So they've changed laws recently, and what they have done is they've updated video conferencing by public bodies, and now that expires a year from July. So we've got a little bit of breathing room from that regard, which is good. We thought it was running out in May and that we'd have to do something rather quickly. So what we do have to do is that we do have to have some procedures written in place on how we implement this, which is what we didn't necessarily have to have before. So a written body must adopt written procedures governing members and public attendance under the public officers law, and those need to be conspicuously posted and provided on our website. So members of the public body must be physically present at the location for those who can attend, and those who are unable to be present due to extraordinary circumstances can use Zoom. So, so the law is more geared to the body itself, the public body itself, and their attendance and when they're there. So they're calling for a quorum that's present in the space itself. But then if you're ill or traveling or called out of town or something like that, to be able to use Zoom, regardless of whether we wanted to continue with video conferencing for the public body, we can still do that for the public. So that doesn't matter. So it's more the law is revolving around what we do as a public body and what the other public bodies are required to do. So I think the bottom line is that we will need some volunteers among us to come up with a policy that is in agreement with the law that we can do for Speculator, that works for us and is ready to be posted. So anyone willing to help with that?
I will.
Okay. So by the next meeting, we will try and have some top line simple policies in place that we can put this into effect.
What I'll do is search the web and see if I can find something that's already written.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if there was anything pre-existing.
I'll let you know.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Terrific. Sounds like a plan.
Health center update?
Yep. So I do have a little health center update. So if you will, maybe you won't recall, but if you will recall, I am part of the, myself and Cindy are part of the consolidated health team that looks at health within Lake Pleasant Speculator, and that includes the primary care center. So as a result of some discussions, I had asked for a contract to see the most recent contract with the health center and the town. I was provided with one from Chris Meixner from back in 1997. I asked for an updated one. They didn't have one. They told me to contact Nathan Littauer. I got one from 2007. Still, for a contract that should be updated annually, that's a problem. They still are not able to provide an updated contract, but there is some movement as far as some concerns that people have had within the community with the health service. So first off, Amanda will be back on May 15th. She was out on maternity leave. So in the interim, they only had one person at the counter, so she will make two people at the counter now. So they were functioning in a deficit. The clinic will be taking on new patients as well as patients that have not been seen in a few years. So that is also a big plus for the community because they weren't taking on anyone new. They are still looking for a doctor ever since Dr. Parslow left the area. but the days that Carla is not able to be there, a replacement will be provided for that day. In the past, if Carla wasn't there, there were no appointments. So now they've said that there will be a replacement for any day Carla is not there, or if she's on vacation. Again, that's a big plus. The hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 to 4 p.m. Thursdays are at 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fridays are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Jeanette.
So, yes.
I have a question. Is that 6:30 actual office visits, or is that just blood draw?
Oh, that I don't know.
I believe it's just...
People get allergy shots too.
Yeah, I think it's just... I don't think there's appointments other than blood draws and things like that. That's my understanding anyway. We need to probably clarify that.
I will clarify that.
I mean, I could be wrong. They may have changed it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I will clarify that. What is interesting is that the old contract used to have hours on the weekend, which I think are helpful for people who are not able to get to the clinic by 4 o'clock. So I will ask about weekend hours.
They during the summer they'll do that.
Okay.
On Saturdays for half a day.
So she Betsy hadn't updated me on that. So let's see if that will work. And she said she would let us know as she hears more.
So are we waiting for Betsy?
Betsy is the one who negotiates the contracts. So the contract is between the town and the primary care center. We don't have anything to do with that. The only role we play is in the consolidated health team. And so that sets the budget, how the monies are spent, etc.
Any other questions? Board roundtable, Donate for Life.
That's it. So Donate for Life is a program that was kicked off through DMV. And what this is it asks people to be a transplant organ donor on your license, that God forbid you are in an accident where they are still able to harvest organs to help other donor recipients. What's interesting is that New York State is one of those states that uses quite a lot of organ transplants, and yet we are the lowest number of people who actually have that listed on our driver's license. So we use a lot, but we don't give a lot. So there was a ceremony this past week that I thought was very good. They honored Under Sheriff Bronius, who is a kidney transplant recipient, and he was able to speak to the fact that when he was 22 years old, he was going into kidney failure, and it was actually his brother who donated a kidney that is still functioning today, which is quite wonderful. So it has given him added life and opportunities and experiences to be a father and still be able to work, whereas at the age of 22, he was told, check it in, you won't be able to do anything if you live to see 30. So, and there were others there who have benefited from transplants or have people who they know and love. So it's just a push and to raise awareness to donate, to be an organ donor. I myself been an organ donor for many decades. So I think it's a great opportunity. So if you have any questions, contact DMV. Very easy to put a little checkbox on your license.
Okay, Community Pride Day is May 3rd. Hopefully,
say that again.
Community Pride Day is on May 3rd.
Yes. So, Mark, if people want to participate and have not signed up, are they able to go through the Lions Club?
Actually, the Lions Club is doing nothing this year. Peter Welch is president. He hasn't called for anything. It's basically you contact the
Chamber.
And
Yeah,
they'll meet you, normally, the Lions Club used to do Elm Lake Road with the kids.
Right.
So I don't know what they have planned, or, I know they bus people out all over the place, Seco or Arietta, you know, Lake Pleasant, and the kids pick up garbage there, and other people join them at the site.
Okay, then,
Come, you just don't get a shirt or lunch. Bring your own lunch.
yeah.
Wear an old shirt.
or wear one from last year. Yes. No, that's great. And do we know where they're meeting? Are they meeting at the school, Rebecca?
Not the general public, no.
No. They're probably meeting at the chamber, but I can check.
Okay. Yep, that would be great. And Tracy, if we can put that on our website,
Okay.
you know, just where the general public would meet and who they should call.
Okay, so you'll let us know.
Yeah, where the location is. Yeah.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, any other things for the board roundtable?
Nothing more from me.
Hearing nothing. Are we going into executive session?
Yeah, why don't we go into executive session very quickly about some personnel matters.
Okay.
Do we need one more public comment opportunity before we go?
We can?
Just one.
This one?
All right. So we're closing the meeting right now, and
Recording stopped.
So I make a motion that we go into executive session to address some personnel matters.
Okay, hold on, we gotta get everybody
yeah,
off.
I'll second, but we have one gentleman needs to see.
Thanks for coming, Shorty.
Hi, Shorty.
Watch out for the alligators down there.
Thank you.
No benches. There's concrete ones, they used to take them in the winter.
Oh, did they?
That's when they used to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on, Declan is still on here, let me get them off.
Keep your snow shovel in.
Oh, come on.
That's what they call
No.